welcome to Richardson's, and I want to be sure I get this right. This is Richardson's at Walker's Farm, and what a great concept you guys combined together here, and now gorgeous here, Lindsay.
Well, thank you very much. It's Richardson's at Walker's Farm, 1082 Old Lancaster Pike in Hocassin, Delaware.
And, of course, this is Lindsay. I'm Tim Qualls, along with Kevin over on the other side of me. And we're going to take you through, because when you talk about Richardson's, folks, you're talking about sea of plants. And when I say plants, I don't care what you're looking for, some shrubs, trees. I see it all here. You've got everything.
Absolutely. We now can offer the largest selection of annuals, perennials, and shrubs and trees in northern Delaware.
And when you start talking about that, I look through here, and once again, Kevin, you always used to shop someplace else, and then because you're up in this area.
Yeah, I won't give the name of their competitor that's just down the road on Valley Road, but no, I come here now.
But it is nice the way that you guys have this set up, because here you can shop during the rain even. I mean, you can come in here because you guys have the roofs over everything. I mean, it's really nice.
Oh, yeah, we're trying to create a perfect shopping experience for our customers. A lot of our plants are located indoor in the large greenhouses that are behind us. It's just amazing out here. We're having a blast.
Yeah, and when we go to that, that's the Richardson side of it. We don't want to forget what I come in, and that's the bird and barrel. Folks, if you haven't experienced or getting into birds as the butterflies, is there butterfly bushes around here?
They're all going for this.
Yeah, is that what? Help me here. What is these things?
That's a lavender plant. It's brilliant scent into the garden. Also produces a good showy flower, and as you can see, it'll bring some butterflies in.
Yeah, well, we'll get back to plants, but I want to go back to what we were talking about before the butterflies started flying all around me here. The bird and barrel. When you go in there, I mean, if you haven't experienced, like I said, what bird feeding's all about, you come here, you can experience it right there on your deck.
Absolutely, we've got things set up here that our customers can see, that we have feeders in use and what kinds of birds they can attract. And we'll guide a customer through every step of the way to get birds attracted to their backyard as well.
I just like coming hanging out on the deck myself.
It's a great backyard. I wish my backyard looked as good as that.
Yeah, I want to remind you, we're once again Richardson's at Walker's Farm. Everybody should know where that's at, especially people from the Hocassin area here on Old Lancaster Pike there in Hocassin. If you're coming in on the new road out, the big highway, I should say, out there, you just get down to the red light there and make a left and come back around the block, and you guys are right there.
That's right. It's super easy to find.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, you're going to enjoy shopping here. And we're going to make our way down through here, Kevin, and talk about some different things. I know you're over here shopping as we're going here.
I am. I started right there with all the yellow moonbeams, and I went down through like the rest of the lavender, and I'm thinking of all the great places in my yard where they could go. I mean, the color is out more so than when we were here last time in their perennials, and it's a really awesome show.
Yeah. Now, when you talk about that, let's educate out there a little bit, Lindsay, because Kevin, of course, mentioned perennials, and you got the annuals. Perennials are going to do what for you?
Perennials are going to come back every year. They're going to provide a great source of color and contrast for your garden. Now is the time to really come out and explore perennials, because most of them are in bloom. You're going to be able to see what flower they can produce that will provide that contrast for you. It's just amazing. There are so many perennials out there that can really complement your garden, especially when you sprinkle annuals in and around them.
Yeah, and as I make your way down through the garden here, Kevin, I want to get over here to you, because now I'm seeing these butterflies surrounded. I'm going to give you a stab at it.
It's called catmint. I don't know. It looks more like lavender to me, but I mean, just a different variety. But I think it'd be great for ground cover.
Well, I think it's great for. I'm trying to attract butterflies at the house, and I put out the butterfly plants, which you guys have here. But I'm looking at these as they come into bloom, and this is going to come back. You say every year. Then these are perennials.
Oh yes, they're all perennials. Yep.
Yeah, they're just unbelievable. So I can see a couple of those leaving with me today before I leave here.
Yeah. Now you got to get next to that too. Would be the black-eyed Susans, and those are really neat when they come because they have the yellow leaves and the big black circle in the middle, hence the name, I guess.
So they're getting ready to. I see the bloom starting to come up on them as we're sitting here. I mean, so they're. I guess this is the time that all the perennials start coming out.
Yes, now is the time to come and check out all of our perennials and see what's available for you to jazz up your yard with.
Yeah, and when we talk about that, because I'm not sure, Kevin, I know you play with a garden. Well, Kevin has, whoever had it at Kevin's house before him loved perennials. Cause
that's it.
Because the thing about perennials, I guess, they get bigger every year, too.
They pretty much do. They're going to have a capping point. You want to read the tags really thoroughly or ask one of us for help. Most perennials are going to expand and bush out, so when you're planting your garden, you want to plan on that.
Yeah, and that's something I'm learning as I go, because you want to be sure you put those into the right spots and not be like Kevin's house where they're crawling everywhere.
Some of it was overgrown. Yeah, we're having to weed some of it out, if you will. But yeah, I mean, these are awesome. I'd like to be able to take a little certain corner of my yard and add my own ideas to it, you know, especially with this stuff from the Bird and the Barrow.
Yeah, and that's what comes to some of the things we're doing as we make our way down through here, because I want to get down here, and people keep seeing, I'm sure, these ponytail palms, and I guess I'm saying those right. I don't know what they're is that, ever get that right?
I like that, yeah. I was going to call it a, what's that dog, the poodle palms?
Yeah. But what sculptured bushes, I guess.
Yeah, they're topiaries. They're basically shrubs or trees that have been formed.
That's why we got Lindsay here. What are they calling it?
Topiaries.
Topiaries. So that's the kind of things that when you're here, though, and I mean, it's an important time why people are looking at all the gorgeous topiaries down through here. We want to also remind them that if they need any help, your assistance is here. But better than that, I mean, you guys got staff throughout the entire center at all times.
Correct. Yeah, it's super easy. If you're not sure, just come find one of us, and we'll assist you the whole way through.
And any questions whatsoever. And the nice thing about it is, Kevin, because you know I'm not like you. Now you keep up with your kind of. I didn't realize this till we see him down here. He's kind of one of those garden type guys, if you would. So
type wife.
Yeah, but when you come down through here, what I like about it is you really don't need assistance, because if you could, Kevin, I've got to put on my glasses here now. This is so I can read this
right here. It says plants that work in the sun. This is a Firewitch cheddar pink, so it's going to turn some pink, obviously. Looks like a little bit of a pine tree, but it's not. This is great ground cover, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I know what I'm talking about is you can come down here. Can I finish this here real quick as you take a look at that? But as you come down through here, because I want to show the backside of this as well. This is the important thing, Kevin, because I can come here and be as stupid as I am and kind of figure out what this is going to do.
Oh, yeah, right. I didn't see what you're saying, but it gives you the average height and width, which is 6 to 10 inches by 12 inches high. You space them 12 inches apart in direct sunlight.
Yeah, so that's what you find when you come to Richardson's, because I've never been out here that's something I can't find a label on it, and I always say when I'm packing them up, folks, I try to take one of those labels with me, get one of the plants that it's attached, and I always leave it around my garden too, so I can remember what it's going to do. But perennials, I mean, they're going to flower, and I guess how do they stay bloomed for a certain period of time, or do they keep blooming? How do perennials work?
Well, most perennials you're gonna find have a season for when they're gonna bloom. The bonus feature is the foliage. You're gonna get foliage coming up through the spring. Then the flower is gonna bloom usually anywhere from a spring season to a mid to summer season to a summer to summer late season. So you just want to check the tags and time everything in your garden accordingly, so you have some kind of color in certain pockets of it all year long.
Yeah, but you're talking about garden. I mean, I'm telling you, this is just here, just coming and walking down this aisle and looking at this over here, because we don't want to forget about, you know, we're talking about perennials and stuff, but perennials, I guess we want to also mention topiaries once again, but with bushes, shrubs. I mean, you guys have that. That's a nice thing about it today.
Yeah, we are really pleased to offer the largest selection of shrubs, perennials, and trees that we possibly can. We're trying to bring in an exciting variety, so you're finding things that you can't find other places.
Yeah, and I just sit here and I look at this. It's like going to the garden someplace, and you don't have to pay an admission or anything. You just come through here and
stuff. Versailles. Yeah. You're just looking across, like it's got the same acreage, you know, if you've ever been. But like, there's something everywhere you can see. The only thing we're missing is a big fountain going off.
Well, we got those too. I mean, we can definitely, when you go inside, because we're going to go inside here in a couple minutes and visit Bird and Barrel as well. But we want to stay with the perennials, because I saw some things over here. Kevin saw some things over there. I knew you were going to like those. Now these come up into the. Well, I'll go down here. Here. Let's do it without the help. Let's pretend Lindsay couldn't be available, or one of the staff is tied up, and we just walk down through here. What are we looking at?
All right, it's a hardy lily. It blooms mid to late summer. Plant in full sun. Water weekly during dry spells. It grows to be about 18 inches tall. Space about 18 inches apart.
That is absolutely gorgeous. And does it say how long it'll bloom for or anything like that?
It doesn't say exactly how long it will bloom. But it says it's excellent for hummingbird gardens or for planting along walkways or decks where the sweet fragrance will be liked by.
Well, I'm sitting there and I'm thinking of one flower, but as you look at them, they've got all these different blooms coming up on the plant. I mean, so it's going to keep giving you more and more lilies as it goes there, and it gets 18 inches high. Right now, they're probably right at 12.
Yeah, it looks like it. And if you ever look at these in the store, I mean, if you're going to buy these from a florist, they're ungodly expensive. So
You can have them in
great
your
to have them in your yard. You know, you get that, put it by your open window.
I've got it figured out. I finally figured out what he does. So he looks for these flowery types. So when he comes staggering in at whatever godly hour, he can pick flowers and say, "I stopped to grab you some flowers."
Right. They say it works like a charm.
But it's just great to be here and looking at all these different things and the education that you're able to get. And it's all here for you to come and browse and shop. And want to remind you once again, Richardson's at Walker Farm. It's a great location right here in Hocassin off Old Lancaster Pike. And I'm telling you, any questions whatsoever, stop one of the folks, grab Lindsay, grab because you've got a tremendous staff. It's very important. You guys always seem to put the right people in the right places.
We really do. And one thing we want our customers to know is that we're here for them 100%. We want them to be happy with their purchases and in the planning of their gardens.
Yeah. Now, when you talk about perennials, I mean, I look because I hate to say it, but I'm not all that educated on the flowers here, so I want to look out, and I started looking into because we're standing outside where all the shrubs, and it's a great time of year. Every plant could be outside right now, but into the hothouse, which is open hothouses areas, are those going to be a perennials or annuals? What?
You're primarily going to find one of the largest selection of annuals available in Delaware. One of the nice things about annuals is that it's going to complement your garden with full color all summer long. You're going to get color from your annuals all the way up to a hard frost, which in some cases, in some years around here, it might not be till October. So that's a great investment to really get that color and that punch to work in your favor all summer long.
Well, with this winters we've been having lately, I hate to say it, but my annuals keep coming back. I mean, I've got these flowers that right from Richardson's that I put in my front flower bed. I know it's been 2 years past, and they keep on coming back, and they're so sometimes they'll hold in there.
Well, you're extremely lucky. Some annuals, if we've had a mild winter, may reseed themselves. So you're really in a good spot there.
I'm telling you. So I've figured I don't have to buy no plant. Either that, or I've put annuals down there and don't know our perennials down.
Right. You live in a place where in the only known universe, grapes boil faster than anywhere else.
But it's so I've always thought they were, because I've learned something today, because I've always thought they were annuals. So it pretty much but that's them in there, Kevin. So I've got to go in there and get myself more educated and be sure what I have in my yard. But I look back through here, and once again, it's absolutely gorgeous. Any questions whatsoever? But another area that we don't want to forget about, and it's important we get over there and talk about that a little bit, because there's so much here at Richardson's to offer. I want to be sure that we don't forget, the tools and the pottery and all that, and just a little area there if you're looking for that. I mean, I got my sprinkler last time. I shared the little hand nozzle for watering the plants and things. So all that's available for you as well. But if you're looking for accessories for the yard, Lindsay, I mean, it doesn't get any sweeter than Bird and Barrel.
Why, thank you. I appreciate that.
We get inside here. This is Bird and Barrel. I always think of the bird side of it, and it's important we do that because that's what I like. But we also want to do what Kevin likes, is like the little, what are they called?
I call them yard ornaments. That's a flamingo.
Yeah. That's what Kevin's got, a few of those in his yard. You like the bigger ones, though.
Like the big flamingo, yeah.
We got those too.
Yeah, but as you come, because you have all that, and that's what I wanted to stress in this part of this segment of the show. I mean, you've got like wind chimes and different art, if you look through here.
Art. That's a great thing.
Yeah, and it is. And on top of that, the birdhouse and all that.
Yeah, we're firm believers in just going ahead and having fun with your garden, whether it be through a serious piece like a sundial or a serious chime or a beautiful bird bath. We want you to have the fun garden garnish that provides color as well as humor.
Yeah, and when you come in here, it blows my mind every time. It's like, because I shop here. I mean, I shop at Bird and Barrel, I should say, and every time I go, I find myself, because you thought you saw it, but you haven't saw it. I mean, as you walk through it, you're going to see different things all the time. I mean, it just blows my mind how much you guys rotate things in and out.
That's right. We believe in bringing in whatever we can new to keep it exciting for our customers, as well as the excitement for us that it provides. We're constantly on the search for new products. We go to all the shows. We're constantly just researching what's going to be the best thing for your garden at all times.
Yeah, I think Lindsay goes shot when she goes to buy this stuff. She says, "Well, that looked good in my yard. Well, give me 10 of them." So yeah, but it's absolutely gorgeous when you come in here to Bird and Barrel. But it's also important to take care of my little critters because I know mine can't survive without me feeding them every day now. So
no, they become dependent, don't they? I'm like $100 million into bird seed this season, and they're like, "Where are you?"
Now I know why Lindsay talked me into it because you feel sorry when they start pecking at the window and hollering at you in the morning.
Their bags and their rags on.
But getting into bird feeding, I mean, what an experience that is. I mean, especially you're experiencing it too at home because you've got the young ones into it. You know, and it's bad when they start naming them, though, Kevin.
I know. Well, we do. We have actually 2 doves that come, and then my daughter has named them, and if I'm not out there making sure they have something on the ground, then I'm in trouble.
Yeah, but it's important that we talk about, you know, feeding in this time of year is just as, I guess, not quite as important as the winter time, but they still, some of them out there that really enjoy it.
Yeah, it's still very critical to feed the birds this time of year, primarily because we've overdeveloped in a lot of areas, so the natural food sources aren't available. There are still birds that are nesting throughout the summer, so they need that extra energy while they're raising their young. It's never a good time to stop. We encourage year-round feeding, particularly providing more sources of protein for the birds through the winter, but summer, the key thing is providing clean water sources and that supplemental bird food out in your garden. Yeah,
and of course, when I talk about birds and everything, some of it is fight the squirrels. I've learned not to fight the squirrels. I've learned to feed the squirrels as well, and which is a fun because that is a whole another element. If you feed, I have found that if I put it out there, the food for the squirrels, they leave the bird seed and stuff alone.
That's true, and we can accommodate our customers in either direction. If you don't want the squirrels at your bird feeders at all, we have all the hardware that will make that an easy task for you to keep them away. And if you choose to feed the squirrels, we can accommodate you in that direction as far as providing squirrel feeders for our customers. We also have a squirrel mix that they will enjoy, and they can provide hours of entertainment just as the birds would.
Yeah, you also, we want to talk about, you know, because they're, again, stopping the squirrels. You can do that with the different hardware and everything else that we have available here. Anything and everything that you want to do in your yard is pretty much available now at Richardson's, if you think about it. I mean, when you talk about the decorating the yard, what a great thing. And then you talk about, you know, feeding and kind of raising pets in the backyard, I guess, if you can.
Yeah, wild pets, yeah.
I mean, you're not going to pet them, but...
Well, look, I just want to show these guys one thing. It's the squirrel go round. Now, she said talk about amusing yourselves. Put some corn on that and watch them try to jump up while it spins around. That's great fun.
Yeah, and it's those kind of things. I mean, and that's what you get when you start doing things in the backyard. My wife and I actually went out and bought binoculars and everything else.
And bird book, I saw that.
Well, we got the bird book right here. So Richardson's. Once again, the Bird and Barrel will supply all your. If you want sound, Kevin, that's what we got ourselves mad at because now she wants the sound. So when she pushes it, she can hear what it sounds. In case she hears something, now she can figure out what bird's singing at her or what bird's saying, "Get out here and feed me again," because that's what happens. I mean, it's just a lot of fun, folks. It's great, just a great hobby to be in. You're into it, Lindsay. I know that.
Oh, I love it. I think it's a brilliant hobby to be in because it's something that doesn't require a lot of interaction on our part, except for putting the seed out there, putting clean water sources out there. And that's it. We sit back and enjoy. And what a way to enjoy the garden as a whole.
Yeah, be sure they stay clean. Put a bird bath back there. I see, and things like, and all that is available right here at Bird and Barrel, which is at Richardson's at Walker Farm, and that's on Hocassin on Old Lancaster Pike, folks. It's so much easy to get to, and the access. That's what I really like about it. I don't care where you're coming from. If you want to come up here and see the largest selection, I mean, by far of any place that I've ever been on not just the flowers and trees and shrubs, but as far as bird too. I mean, you're going to be able to hold your head high as far as that goes too.
Absolutely, we love it. We have a brilliant property here. We have brilliant staff. It's just a great experience for our customers.
Yeah, and when you talk about it, let's not forget about the seed, because you've educated me on different seeds, because there's different seeds that attract different birds.
Yeah, we carry Wild Delight exclusively. We really love their seed because it's clean feeding. They really promote a clean feeding. All their mixes are formulated specifically for specific birds, and they've worked with Cornell in developing these mixes, and we just absolutely adore this line of seed. Every customer that started out with it has come back for it. They love it.
Mine won't eat anything else.
I was just going to say that because last time we were here, I bought a big bag. and I've been using that. But I also had a little bag that I bought from the supermarket left over, and they won't eat that feeder. They're eating the other stuff.
Same seed. I mean, they just want. Because I'm telling you, but I know, especially with I like the fruit and all that in mind, and we attract so many different birds because of that, just that one, and it depends on what you want to bring into your backyard.
Yeah, absolutely. We can guide you through the whole process. If you tell us what birds you're trying to attract, we can guide you to the right seed. We have a frequent buyer program. We'll work you through that, where you get 10 bags, you get your 11th free. It's just fun. You're going to love it.
Yeah, I've got.
Before we got to go, though, I'd just like to ask, what's the difference between seed and suet? I don't get that part.
I can help you there. You know, you got your seed, that's for your birds. This is more for your woodpeckers and the suet, where they can come up and you got to be sure. I've educated myself here, because I had this long thing I was feeding them through the suet with, and the other birds were coming up and they were pulling the suet out and dropping it on the ground. Now, Lindsay, I got to say, I bought the one that's flat now, so the woodpeckers can hang upside down. There's not a lot of birds can hang upside down, so they all would love the suet. Now, if the squirrels get to the suet, you go to the pepper, because that was a good education, you know, because you go to the pepper because they got a tongue. So they can taste it, and it gets hot, and they don't eat it, but the birds don't have the tongue, so they enjoy it. Am I close?
You are pretty darn close. You're doing a great job. I must have taught you right.
Yeah, I'm telling you, but it's a lot of fun, folks. You definitely want to check it out, Bird and Barrel, when you're here at Richardson's at Walker's Farm. And when I mention that address and everything, I want to remind you guys that's in Hocassin on Old Lancaster Pike once again. But when you come here, there's so much to choose from. You're coming up, you're constantly shopping on it.
Yeah, I just found a whole shed full of pots. It's an amazing place.
I'm telling you, but with the size, you got to love being up here, because the size of the Walker Farm and what you guys are able to bring to it here is just unbelievable.
Oh, it's great. It's a stunning property. It's just a gorgeous setting. We have great neighbors. We're just thrilled to be here.
Yeah, and when you talk about that, I don't care what your needs are, folks. If you're out there and you want to put them in pots, you want to put them in the garden, you got everything that comes when it comes to the garden needs right here, including potting soil and all.
We've got it, and we're here to assist you the whole way through the process. And
it's, once again, I don't care. Kevin keeps shopping on me and everything. Because the last time we were here, we talked about the rose bushes. I mean, which I love, and they put out. And right now is a great time just to come up and stroll through the gardens. And I found my butterfly bushes and everything, so I got to get a couple of those. I'm trying to draw the butterflies at the house, and I've noticed that this is the time of year right now, because all the perennials are coming out, as we talked about earlier. This is time to come up here, and pretty much what you're going to draw at the house, you're drawing here right now.
Yeah, let us do it for you. Just walk along the gardens and see what we've got and see what it's bringing in, and you're good to go.
Yeah, when you come to that, too, because I'm going to go back to Bird and Barrel and not forget about those guys down there at that end, too, because you got that great garden deck off the back there. And you can also see, now that's year-round, you can kind of see what you're attracting back there, because you've got a pretty nice setup there to lure the birds up to the deck, if you would.
True. We have our own little slice of heaven back there. We welcome anyone to come back down here and enjoy it.
Yeah, and, of course, the accessories that's inside Bird and Barrel that go along, and as Kevin says, the lawn decorations. I say the yard art.
Yeah.
but it's all there for you. It doesn't matter what you're looking for. You're going to be able to find it. Richardson's at Walker's Farm. That's in Hocassin. Am I saying that right?
Absolutely. You got it right on this time.
I always want to call it the old Walker's Farm, and it's not old. It's a brand new Richardson's at Walker's Farm is what it is, and it's a great place to shop. You got to come up here, because you're not going to find a larger selection. I tell you, as I look through here, shrubs, perennials, annuals. I mean, you look down through that annual bin there, any kind of flower you want. This is just a great time of year, like I said.
Hanging baskets, too, with flowers, with the moss bottoms. When my mom was in town, I made her come up here. She bought me a couple for the deck. Great.
Well, I've got my deck. I decorated from Richardson's, of course, right here, and I put a lot of the flowers in pots and stuff, and out on my deck. But at the same time, I wanted to be sure that I had some that really stood out, so I bought some that are pre-done. Now, you guys, out of a lot of them that are already pre-done, you just take the whole thing down and set it down.
Yes, we have some that are already arranged with combinations that are really jazz up your deck or patio. Let us do the work for you.
And it's all here once again. This is Richardson's at Walker's Farm. Until next time, for Lindsay, Kevin, the entire gang, we thank them for working so hard here to keep this gorgeous atmosphere. It doesn't. I'm going to kick back in the flowers.
Chairs,
there you go. Until next time, for the entire gang, we'll see you. Bye-bye.